Oh. Good? We're on? Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to 3 to 5 things we didn't have time to talk about today. I am your host, Fred Kennedy, and again, I would like to thank our wonderful sponsor this week, Train Like Heroes at 400 Monarch Avenue in Ajax in Durham. Is the logo up? Wow, look at that. Michael and Nikki, if you're watching, I expect a pair of shorts for that. Yeah, it's the gym that I actually go to all the time. They're fantastic people. They've got a program for kids as well because they're trying to combat childhood obesity, which is actually a really big issue these days. Kids are getting fatter because they're not doing anything. So it's important that we make sure that kids get exercise. Train Like Heroes, 400 Monarch Avenue in Ajax. Okay, first up, first issue on the docket, armpit hair. Nobody cares. Armpit hair. Here's the thing. We live in a wonderful world where everybody is easily offended by everything, and the important thing is to show yourself to be as woke and understanding and empathic as possible every particular time, even if it means finding ways of weaving ridiculous things into ridiculous things. Women are dyeing their armpit hair rainbow colored to promote awareness for the LGBTQ #hashtag community, and people, apparently idiots on the internet, are getting upset about it. I just want to say that I think it's great. You're showing an interest in gay pride and all that stuff. I actually spoke to my friend Reed about this last night, and I was like, so as a gay man, do you feel better knowing that some people have dyed their hair rainbow colored? And his response was, what? That's it. But good that you're trying. I think it's really great. But I just want to say, no one cares about armpit hair. Like, no one really cares. Period. Even the guys that say they do, I would never go after a chick with armpit hair. Yes, you would. You know why? Because you're a dude. That's what dudes do. My wife, she came up to me and it's like, you know what? I'm not shaving my armpit hair ever again because I'm going to combat the patriarchy this way. I'd be like, great. Can I still put my penis in you from time to time with your consent? And she'd probably say yes, because sometimes she does. And then I totally would. Would not care. I wouldn't care at all. Dude, I lost my virginity before, shaving was the thing for everybody to do. There were no Brazilians in 1995. Nobody was doing... There were Brazilian people in 1995. I want to make that absolutely clear. There was a country called Brazil, just chock full of people. But I am talking about the Brazilian wax. Okay? It wasn't a thing. In 1994, Pamela Anderson was in Playboy and she had pubic hair. There you go. So, now you get what I'm talking about. Okay, good? I'm glad. I'm getting a little bit fed up with issues that aren't issues becoming issues and people immediately getting upset over things. Listen, I'm just going to tell you, if an idiot who's 12 in Mississippi says he doesn't like that you have armpit hair, that doesn't mean that every dude in the planet also thinks that you shouldn't have armpit hair. Because I'll tell you this, as a dude, we don't really care. Even if they're saying they do on the internet, they don't care in real life. My wife doesn't shave her legs all winter. Guess what? I still try and have physical relations with her almost every day. Sometimes... a lot of times during the day, because you never know. You never know. It's like the lottery. You play the lottery, because every now and again you get the jackpot. You know? You just do. Sometimes you get more than the jackpot. Sometimes you get the bonus scratch. I don't know what that particular thing would be, but there's a sexual metaphor there, and I don't know what it is. The bonus pick? Pick is not a word to use in a sexual connotation. Let's move on. Wonderful film / book / multiple things. 1984. Dude, George Orwell predicted the future with 1984. I really believe that we're headed in that direction. And the thing is it's not like a big brother. It's like a social climate thing. You have to either lean far left or lean far right, because if you're not one of those two camps, you're going to get nothing but shit from both sides. Constantly. It's like, listen, I think that everybody should be treated 100% equally. 100% equally. But I'm a fan of breasts. Therefore, I'm a misogynist. So it's true. I saw it on the internet. I love my wife's breasts. I said it. I just objectified all women, not just my wife, by saying that. But that's the way the world is. It's like a 1984 type thing, and everybody's watching you all the time. Everybody's watching everything that you're doing, trying to keep an eye on what you're saying, just getting ready to be offended and be triggered. Should we go back? Triggered! Oh my God, these topics meld together so perfectly. Regardless, there is a stage play right now that's all about Big Brother 1984 in New York. It's on Broadway, starring Olivia Wilde. By the way, look at that, Olivia Wilde. Oh my God, she's amazing. When she was in Tron Rebirth. By the way, also one of my favorite characters to use on Disney Infinity, because she's got like a really cool sword that she can whip out. She uses a rope and she sweeps around. Great character to use in Disney Infinity, if you haven't, but it's been discontinued, so good luck getting that figure. I got it at Superstore on sale for $5. Anyways, back to the stage show. It's actually making people barf because there's a lot of strobe light effects, and it's very graphic in terms of like its use of torture in the story, because if you've read 1984, we had to read it in high school, and it's a pretty harsh book in terms of the way they basically torture people into a state of compliance, and they keep an eye on everything that you do. They monitor everything that you do. It's just like, it feels like that's the way we're going. Like we're becoming very this way or that way, this way or that way. But the weird thing is if you unplug for a bit from all the issues that are constantly being thrown at your face, if you unplug and just talk to other people that you know in your day-to-day, it's really not like that at all. So keep an eye on that. And I also, like, hey, we're talking about 1984, and I remember I was reading a few months ago that 1984 is a book that's kind of been taken off a list of books that teachers should be showing their kids because it's been deemed too traumatic for them. No. Absolute balderdash. I think that's ridiculous. I think that if you really want to understand what fascism and thought control are, you need to be exposed to the concepts. You need to talk about things like Nazi Germany. You need to talk about those things. In another book, I just read this last week, that To Kill a Mockingbird is no longer going to be one of those books. And here's the thing. They said that To Kill a Mockingbird is a culturally insensitive story. The only people reading To Kill a Mockingbird that should feel embarrassed or offended or frustrated, not offended, like that's the wrong word, that should feel uncomfortable reading To Kill a Mockingbird is white people. Because the white people in that book are the absolute worst. They're bigoted, racist pieces of garbage. The only people that should be feeling uncomfortable are people riddled with white guilt. And when you stop like shoving your face in it, you forget what happened. It's revisionist history. That happened then. That happens now. And To Kill a Mockingbird is an important book. It's something that everybody should be reading. Absolutely important. Great movie. Great book. Fantastic stuff. 1984. Also, okay, listen. When you don't read a book like To Kill a Mockingbird, and then you say that you're not reading it because it could be like uncomfortable for some people, that's like a school in Germany not teaching about the rise of Nazism and nationalism because it could be upsetting to some of their students. No, you need to remember that stuff because when you forget it, you're doomed to repeat it. Am I making sense? We good? I'm fired up. Let's move on. Oh wait, well, sorry. Great character, great movie. Would love to see them do more stuff with Tron. It's just tragic that the second movie looked amazing, had a great score from Daft Punk, but was kind of crappy. I'll admit it. I'm a fanboy, but it wasn't very good. It makes me sad. Okay, this is a great video. Female sniper. She's Kurdish. She's in Iraq, and she's taking a shot at another sniper, and the second she ducks down, like right after she shoots, she ducks down. You see that, like up in the corner there?
She doesn't even duck before the bullet comes in.
No, she doesn't duck. She shoots, and then a bullet hits the wall right behind her, and she's laughing when she ducks down. That video popped up on the internet a few days ago, and it's been going viral. And I didn't even watch it until yesterday. And I don't want to talk just about like the plight of Kurdish people. By the way, my neighbors are Iranian Kurds, and they have talked to me about the crap that Kurds have to deal with around, like from Turkey, from Iraq, from Iran, and the reason that they had to come to Canada because of the persecution they faced just for being Kurdish. Here's the weird thing, is like, my neighbor, Castro, was talking about how, like, over here, all we talk, ISIS, 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 ISIS. That's all anybody talks about. We act like ISIS is just the worst. And then he says, bluntly, he goes, ISIS is no different than what's been going on to Kurds for over 50 years. He goes, it's no different. The Iranian government, the Iraqi government before them, the Turkish, everybody treats the Kurds like absolute garbage. And they deserve to have their own place, but they don't get one. So they're being kicked out of everywhere they go. It's a very frustrating issue. If you want to educate yourself on situations in the Middle East rather than what are headlines in the newspaper, read about what's going on with the Kurdish peoples. It's very upsetting. It's very distressing. And it frustrates me that we talk more about bathrooms in North Carolina than we do about wholesale genocide of an entire people. That's a misallocation of mental resources right there. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how, have you gotten to the point in your life where you don't care about being the first person to find things on the internet anymore? Because that video was going like nonstop viral, and I remember being like, I should probably post it, show people about it, but I don't care anymore. Is that an age thing? Am I old? Does that mean I'm old? That could mean that I'm old, because there was a time when, like, I would be like, this dates me. I would be so pumped up about Homestar Runner and Strong Bad and all that stuff. And I would, like, immediately when a new Strong Bad video went up, I'm like, oh, I gotta tell everybody about this. I saw it first. I don't care. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not in a rush to expose my internet outrage over every issue and repost things all the time. I've moved on, you know? Like, this is what I want to do. When you're obsessed with being first to get that video up and show all your friends that you saw it first before everybody else, this is what I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed to show, look, I'm in bed before you. I went to bed, and it's still not even 10 o'clock. That's where I am. So next time you get yourself stressed out because you don't think you're finding videos fast enough or finding things on the internet to be upset about, just go outside and sit on the beach and relax. And remember, you need to remember that the internet isn't real and the internet doesn't matter. But thank you for watching this video on the internet. Let's move along. Okay, this is the Cash Me Outside girl, Danielle Bregoli. Ugh. This girl upsets me so much. She upsets me so much because she completely exposes how stupid the rest of us are. She was on Dr. Phil and she threatened an adult to have a fight outside. I just want to say that she probably culturally appropriated that expression from some sort of video or something that she'd seen on the internet. She stole black culture and she made a mockery of it on Dr. Phil. Am I right? I'm right. She did. Cultural appropriation. But that's not why I despise her. I despise her because she embodies all the horrible traits in humanity that we have today. And what ended up happening was she became rich. She started doing a tour. She has made over $1 million because she went on Dr. Phil and acted awful. And now she's been charged. She could be going to youth jail for like mischief or something stupid like this. And people are talking about it. And what frustrates me is we basically praised her for her idiotic behavior. She made money for acting like an idiot. And so then she continues to act like an idiot. And now she's going to jail. She's probably going to have a lot of children and spread her dumb genes to the next generation. That's what we do. Because she's got $1 million in the bank. She's probably going to have a lot of kids. And she's going to have, all her kids are going to be stupid and end up on Dr. Phil's son's show or something, or daughter's show or whatever it is. And they'll be terrible too. And terrible will continue to propagate through the world. It's absolutely upsetting. And what's more upsetting is that every day there are kids that are doing great things, that are fighting great battles, and doing amazing accomplishments. There was an elementary school here in Toronto. They're actually going to get to do a scientific experiment using the Large Hadron Collider. They applied. They were one of 15,000 elementary schools in the world that applied to use the Large Hadron Collider for their experiment. It's something to do with the age of molecules and the way they break down, etc., etc. These are kids that are like 10 and 12 years old that know how molecules break themselves down over time and want to use the largest scientific piece of equipment that has ever been built by mankind. Right here in Toronto, I saw 2 articles about it. Do you know how many places I saw that story about Danielle, whatever her name is, going to jail? 14. And that's when I stopped looking. 14. Isn't that ridiculous? Kids are doing great things and we don't care. No wonder kids want to do dumb things. So they can get $1 million, go to jail, and have lots of dumb kids. All right. Let's finish with something happy. Pretty Justin. Look at how pretty he is. You think he's attractive? Of course you think he's attractive. He's Justin Trudeau. I find him attractive, for Christ's sake. I do admit I love the boxing match that Justin Trudeau had with Patrick Brazeau. He actually fought a guy who wound up being charged with sex crimes. It's pretty amazing to watch. But yes, Justin, it's true. It's true. Patrick Brazeau was charged with sex crimes. What? It happened. And Justin Trudeau beat him up. This is on the cover of the Delta Airlines in-flight magazine, okay? And everybody's swooning over it. Oh my gosh, he's so handsome. Oh my gosh. But this proves my point. I have a point about the world. I remember when I was in junior high, it was not very popular. I was a loser. I was a loser kid. Doug O'Gorman, Johnny Semenuk, Corey Hubick, you three dicks made fun of me every day, stuffed me in a locker, treated me like garbage all the time. And I can remember one time I was making a joke, and this was right after MC Hammer, Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him, the cassette came out. And Miss Elnitsky puts her hand up and she goes, guys, stop. And I went, hammer time. And no one laughed. No one laughed. About 15 minutes later, Miss Elnitsky said, stop again. Doug O'Gorman goes, hammer time. And everyone laughs like it's the best joke ever. Oh my God. He literally stole my joke that got no laughter, and then everyone laughed when he said it. Which proves my point about it's not what's being said, it's who's saying it. Justin Trudeau can sit like that, and no one's going to say anything. But average guy on the subway sits like that, and it's manspreading. And I saw all the reactions about this, and all these women were going, oh my God, Justin Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, oh no, Justin Trudeau,
but he's not
Justin
on the
Trudeau.
Subway.
What?
He's not on the subway.
Doesn't matter. And I'm going to talk a little bit about manspreading here, because that is blatant manspreading for the sake of being a jerk. He's doing that for the sake of the picture, obviously. But, listen, look at the way can we pan down? Can we pan down? Pan down. Listen, look at this. Look at my crotch. Why am I sitting like this? Why are my legs at this angle? Because I have a penis and testicles. I show the diagram. That's a medical diagram of the penis and testicles. I want you to pay close attention to how it comes out. It comes out of the body, all right? So it kind of sits just like, and I'm not packing a lot of heat. I'm not. I am an averagely penised individual. But it's there. And if I sit like that, oh, I just pushed one of them down. That happens. The testicles flop around inside. Listen, this is how the scrotum is a satchel. And there's like two bulbs in there that are connected by cords. And what causes pain is when one ball moves too far and it tugs on that cord. When a guy puts his legs together, it's pulling on that cord. You don't need to sit like that guy is sitting. But Justin Trudeau is sitting like that. He's manspreading and getting away with it because he's a really good-looking, powerful man.
No, it's annoying on the subway because it's taking up more room. He's just on a magazine cover.
Listen,
it's beautiful.
You know what? Have you ever seen the movie Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis? Well,
there's an original.
What?
There's an original.
Yeah, well, we're not talking.
Jodie Foster.
Oh my God. There's an original with Jodie Foster too. We're not talking about that. I would like to, because guys are always like, oh, I love giant boobs, and when girls get a breast reduction, it makes me so mad. That's because their lower backs are hurting because there's weight pulling them down. And I can understand that because I've had back problems before. So, if we could have like a switch where when a girl is complaining about a dude manspreading, she could suddenly have an average-sized penis and testicles in her crotch and understand what it's like when you have to sit like that. When there's a bench that goes like this, and you got to sit in the middle, it's the worst because you're taking up way more room. You're like, I'm manspreading. I'm not manspreading. Just don't want to pinch my junk, man. And that way, if a guy who's being a prick about a girl wanting a breast reduction because she's got big boobs could walk around with 20 pounds hanging off his chest, would understand that that's probably tiring by the end of the day. Maybe he wouldn't complain about it. And vice versa. Just all about equality. Dicks and boobs for everybody. Dicks and boobs everywhere. They actually are everywhere. When you think about it, they're literally dicks and boobs in every building. But I've got some City and Color tickets to give away for their show for Niagara on the Lake on the long weekend. Also, Blue Rodeo going to be there. Blue Rodeo is a great band. I worked at an easy listening radio station for years, and I loved Blue Rodeo. They're really good. Also, Dear Rouge going to be there as well. 416-870-EDGE. Manspreading. That's the password. You get those tickets. We're done? We're good? Good.